I'm just going to try to get some water. And you can see absolutely no water. Hey, it's Jason with jamzDOTnet, cars, DIY and adventures. This is my 2022 Winnebago Travato 59G. It's built on a 2021 ProMaster 3500 chassis. And I just got back from about 1,600 miles of road tripping, and 2 times I lost water, and I believe it's because of an airlock. So I'm gonna show you how to fix the airlock thanks to some people on the Travato Wannabes Facebook page. But more importantly, why does this keep happening? Maybe you can help me, and maybe eventually I'll figure this out. But let's fix the airlock, and then we'll talk about what maybe is causing this. So I absolutely want to give a shout out to the Travato owners and Wannabes group on Facebook. These people have been awesome, and they're the reason why I was able to fix this on the road, because everything I was doing wasn't working. So I know how to fix it, but it seems like every 500 miles or so, it's happening over and over and over. And this becomes a real issue because to fix it, you have to hook it up to a hose. Luckily, I was at a cabin out in Asheville, North Carolina, the first time it happened. The second time it happened, I was on the road. I was on the interstate, and I had about 6 hours of driving to do to get home, and we just dealt with it. But I'm hoping I can figure the long-term solution out. So the first thing I always do is cut the water pump on. I can hear the water pump running continuously. Generally, it will run and stop. The next thing I do, I'm just going to try to get some water. And you can see absolutely no water. And you have the same thing in the bathroom. Now, one group, or just a random thing on the internet, said, if you just keep these open, it eventually will work itself out. Well, that never happened to me. Another suggestion was this instant hot water button. Turn it to preheat for 15 seconds. When I do that, I can hear the bubbling happening. So then after 15 seconds, or maybe not even that long is required, you cut it off, but it's the same thing. Now, as you can see, the pump is on. I can cut the pump off, and it's off. And I don't know if you can hear this. But the pump just continues to cycle. Or just run, I guess I should say. And this is on dry camping. The white's down, the green's up, the red's up, and the blue is to the left. At this point, I'm getting absolutely no water. Now, I have not recently filled the tank. And if you go to tank level, fresh water, 2/3 tank. So I still have fresh water. It doesn't happen right when I fill it. It seems to always happen, actually, when I'm at 2/3 of a tank. So is the air somehow getting in the overflow or something? I don't know, but it doesn't happen when I fill the tank. It happens after I do a bit of driving and use water. And we do not keep the water pump on when we're driving. I'll turn it on and off when we need it. So I think that's the right thing to do, according to what I've been told. So if I fill the tank up, I'll have the water pump off. When I need water, we'll cut it on, and typically it works. So as you can imagine, huge pain in the butt. We still can actually use the toilet if we need to. It's pretty much like a porta potty at that point, and we can use some water if we need to do that. So we're not completely cooked, but imagine if you're boondocking, or if you're at a campsite with no water hookups, you're not going to have any shower. And if that black water tank has no liquid in it currently, it can get kind of stinky probably if you can't get water in there, obviously. So a little disappointed in having this issue. Let me show you how I purge what I think is the airlock, and then maybe we can figure out how to prevent it. So to purge the said airlock, I first go to the main panel here on the back, and you want to go to winterize mode, which is the white that way, the green towards the left, the red towards the white, and the blue towards the left. So white towards the right, green towards the left, red towards the right, blue towards the left. Okay, after you set the panel to winterize, you're going to want to turn water on your hose and let it run through so it gets filled with water, presumably so you don't have any air in the line when you hook this up. Okay, so I'm going to keep this hose sitting right here for now, just to organize my other stuff. So there's basically water in the hose. And the next step is you're going to want to hook the hose up to the city water intake. So you can take your hose, put right here, and then you turn that to the left on the hose. Okay, so I have the hose hooked up. I have it set to winterize. Next, I'm going to go cut a faucet on in the coach. Okay, so you want to have a faucet cut on in the coach, and then you're going to cut the water on back here and the water pump. So I'm going to go over to my spigot, and I'm going to cut the water on. So with the spigot on, or the faucet I should say, and the spigot, I'm going to cut the pump on. And then you're going to want to do that until everything is running smooth out of the faucets. And I have both faucets on. And I'm just going to let these run. Sometimes you hear it sputter, but that only happens at the very beginning. And then everything just smooth sailing. Everything flows how you'd want it to flow. So then I cut the faucet off. I cut the pump off. The nice thing is, like, when you do this, and I just don't hear that pump running, it seems like it's trying to prime itself when it gets into this situation and just keeps going. But this case, we're A-okay. And I need to cut the spigot off at the house. So I have the spigot off at the house. The pump is off. There's going to be water in this line, so that's why I like having this little short one here, so I can disconnect it outside the coach, and any of that pressure would just leak out. So let some of that leak out there, and then you can unplug or unscrew just by going to the right the hose you have hooked up in here. Now I can go back to dry camping mode, which is the white one all the way down, the green one all the way up, the red one all the way up, and the blue one over. Cut my pump on. It initially runs and then it just cuts off. So I know right now it's good because it seems like it's primed and it's ready to go. So then I can come in the coach. I have water, just like I would expect. And this seems to work for quite some time. Then eventually, somehow, it gets airlocked again. And I don't think it's anything that I'm doing. I think I'm doing all the procedures exactly how they should be. I'm not keeping that water pump on when I drive. Some people have said it's a placement of the water pump. It has to go over like some type of hump and it's farther away from the water tank, and that could be causing it. Some people have said on the Wannabes page, one person said they replaced the pump. But my question to you, the viewer, subscriber, whomever, why do you think this is happening to me? And is there another way I can fix this on the road without hooking up to a hose? because if this is the only way to fix it, I'm gonna have to carry some type of bucket with water and a pump that can hook to that. So this is Jason with jamzDOTnet, cars, DIY, and adventures. I love this Travato. Our road trip through the Blue Ridge Mountains of Tennessee, Virginia, we went to Asheville, North Carolina, was fantastic. We did some camping, we stayed in some cabins, we stayed in some yurts. This thing was remarkable. The only other big lesson I learned was its off-road capabilities. Stay tuned for a video. I had to have a John Deere pull me out in the middle of nowhere, but that's gonna be a fun video to give my perspective on the capabilities of this. I didn't have high hopes, but with these Nexen tires, it definitely was a little bit lower than I expected. Give me a subscribe, it means a lot to me, and I hope you have some input for me. If you have a Travato or an RV, or just any thoughts as well. Maybe you're a plumber and have an idea, but that's what I had to do to get it fixed. I hope this was helpful. Have a great day.